Hi guys, welcome back. All right, we need to get to a single storyline because we missed the one on Friday, and I like to put these out usually on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, just so you guys know. Into this next week, I'll be gone for at least 2 days because I'm moving, and so there will be, how it's, you kind of got to throw yourself at it at some point. So we've got a Six of Cups. This is beautiful. This is a single storyline, so we assume our character is single, but we've got soulmates coming in right out of the gate in this gorgeous like Italian villa. This has a very like Sorrento feel to it. Oh, this is just beautiful, beautiful, very dreamy, very. Oh, we have a Two of Wands as well. Okay, we have two people that are both. You notice how these cats are both, playing with. Well, in this case, kind of like, almost like walking sticks, but both of them are looking at the same, world. They both want the same things. So we have soulmates that are on different paths, right? One is walking through a field of poppies, the other one is walking through a field of like buttercup flowers, but they're like destined to meet. They're on a pathway, which makes perfect sense for a Six of Cups relationship. It kind of reinforces the idea that if our characters are listening to their true, desires and who they really are and living authentically, they are absolutely going to meet somebody who is also authentically right for them because that person is also listening to their authentic voice. And these two will find themselves in the same time at the same place. There is a time, there is a time and place for you to have your dreams. So understand what it means. I believe it's a Mike and the Mechanics song that I was just quoting, and I can't think of what the song is. It's not In the Living Years, it's something else. We have the sun. I wonder if, and the sun is behind the world as well. These two could be meeting, like I'm picturing two people meeting on a sunny day. The sun is there in all three cards now pretty prominently. And obviously that Leo energy of the sun is here. We keep seeing all these birds also. So there's like, I feel like our characters are going to be sun drenched. They are possibly also being saturated in messages coming in from their guides. They are living very authentic lives. They are following what's true for themselves. Somebody could be a Leo as well. And just as a side note, simply because the glyph for the sign of Leo is actually a representation of the human heart. And I just wonder if somebody like works in cardiology or somebody has something to do with like maybe they're a cardiac nurse, or maybe there's somebody who's just not necessarily about love. I'm literally picturing the anatomy of the heart. So maybe somebody is an anatomist. Maybe since I picked this cat deck, maybe this is even somebody who's a veterinarian or somebody who just really likes pets or something. But this is cute because this is the Maker. I always call this card the Maker. Really, it's the title card for the deck, which is Grimalkin's Curious Cats. I'll tag this deck for you. I love this one. I love CJ's work. But I leave the title card in because I like it. And I think it's a nice way to honor the truly the maker of this deck. But in a storytelling, I look at it as the universe or the creator, however we want to say that. But we have this beautiful energy of like the universe is overseeing this for these two, because these two are making these correct steps, because they're listening to who they really are. It says, and we do have snowfall over here. It almost says that even if these two meet in wintertime, it'll feel like like a sunny day to them. It's so interesting because maybe these two needed to get themselves situated in the right time and place before they were going to meet. Sometimes we can, let's say two people took a vacation somewhere and they fell in love with that area and decided, I want to move back here. And slowly but surely one moves there and then the other one moves there too, and they end up meeting each other. Or let's just say that two people have discovered a hobby or an interest or something, and they start, pursuing that hobby or interest. It can still take a while before we end up in the same time at the same place. but their common and shared interests and energy is what's drawing them together. And so they're already moving down that right path. I keep thinking that these are characters who've recently started like really living authentically. So there could be something that they didn't used to let themselves do that now they do. This could be, like I said, a hobby that somebody's recently picked up and they're like, you know what? I'm so loving pickleball. I've wanted to do this for a while. Now I finally joined a pickleball team. Or, I always wanted to, whatever, go to the YMCA and swim in the early mornings. And now I'm finally doing that. And it's like, okay, that's where these two will meet. Or, somebody else who has like a very similar interest or hobby. These two are on the crash course to meet, possibly not until winter time. But we have a King of Cups. We have a Seven of Swords. It's so funny because this storyline looks so amazing, right? And the universe is like, these two are gravitating toward each other. The thing is, we have a masculine as part of this equation who is in a really beautiful energy, but he is telling himself nothing's going to probably change other than I'm very happy right now. I really love my life, but I don't see anything changing for me. I don't see me meeting anybody. But he's lying to himself. He knows darn well. Look, there's a butterfly here that's just coming out of its chrysalis phase. And he doesn't see it because it's right over his head. But he's told himself, it doesn't matter if I meet anybody or not. I'm in such a great place. I'm really content. Really love my life. But I mean, I definitely don't see me ending up in a relationship, especially with a stranger that I've never met. By the time winter comes around, oh, pshaw, that's not going to happen. Things can change on a dime. One day we don't know somebody, and the next day we do know somebody, and that changes us on a dime. We have a Three of Cups. It will be as sudden as if we knock over, our glass of water or our coffee cup. Hopefully not by our computers. This, one moment we've got our mug and everything's great, and the next moment we set it down and it spills. I know that's a negative thing, but I'm just saying things happen in an instant. Positive, happy accidents happen, negative accidents happen. Somebody might literally spill something. They could meet each other. Maybe they physically will bump into each other and splash, a beverage or something. It just feels like this is the reminder that things can change on a dime in life. With that Three of Cups, there is this sudden shift where they will meet each other. It could be through a third party. Maybe a friend or somebody invites both of them over or something along those lines. But it does look like it's going to be quite the shocker when this occurs. We have Temperance. I feel like this is our feminine. It doesn't matter to me in my stories if we have masculines, feminines, same-sex couples. I never really try to figure out who is who. It could always be same-sex couples as well. But for some reason, this feels like a feminine to me. I don't even have a reason why I would say that. But there could be a female Sagittarius as the other half of this storyline. She's very soulful, very content in her life as well. You notice the similarity here. The King of Cups, he's very happy, but truly believes he'll stay single, even though deep down I think he knows better. Then we have her, very content. This is wonderful because we have two people that are so at ease with their life, being what their lives are, that they're not clamoring to meet somebody right now. Yet the universe says that's kind of why they're on a collision course. Of course they're going to meet because they started to listen to what do they want in life? How do they want their life to look? I'm getting like the fish market in Pike's Place in Seattle right now. Somebody may really be like a pescatarian or really love the sea. Maybe they both, go fishing, or maybe this is just, this feminine's like, oh, there's so many fish in the sea. But, it's okay if I never end up with any of them. There's great people though. Page of Cups, I don't know. I think she's a little bit more open to maybe dating. However, she does not expect something to be super serious. I kind of think that this is two people that are very content if they stayed single for the rest of their lives. even though, because he doesn't believe that he's going to meet somebody, even though he knows deep down that's not true. She's over here entertaining the idea of like, oh, it'd be fun. Maybe I'll go out to the movies with somebody. I'll go out and see a show with somebody. But, I'll just have like lighthearted, kind of like dating scenarios, kind of not dating, kind of like that in between where it's like, oh, I can have acquaintances that I hang out with and stuff. I don't know that with the way they're imagining their lives going, I don't see them guessing that they are on a collision course to meet. Six of Swords. Definitely, I would say not. I think that, again, we see this winter scene. And now that butterfly is fully out of its chrysalis. We see the sun again. So it's like a sunny day in winter when these two meet. Now this could just be a cold day. When I say winter, I mean sometimes we get those freak snows, storms that come in at a weird time of the year. Sometimes we just get really cold and the leaves fall. Every season is a little bit different. I mean, this could be like early November and it just is like, oh, or this could be a place that gets colder. I already was like, it's making me think of Seattle. So maybe, north, somewhere up north. This skyline looks more like New York to me. So maybe East Coast. Does not have to be. This could be anywhere in the world. I mean, there's so many coastal cities all around the globe, but this does say that it's specific for a colder region. But it's interesting because that's the day that they meet. And that's even up here in the sky. You notice how there's a heart in the break in the clouds? That's the day that things shift and change. That's the day that either he stops telling himself, oh, I'm so happy, but I definitely don't see me with anybody. It almost feels like that's the day that he meets her and is like, holy hell, I thought I wasn't going to meet anybody, but now I have. Could be the 6th could be an important day when this happens. The devil. Oh, he's going to be so tempted because we've got the little devil cat and he's got all these little pieces of cheese and this little mouse and he's trying to entice into his mouth. I definitely feel like he's going to be very attracted to her from first sight. Like very attracted to her from first sight. She lights up his world. This could be that, it's been a long time since he thought about wanting to pursue somebody. And before he might have felt like other people tried to trap him in relationships. And now he's like, I hope I can convince her to be in one with me. 4 of Pentacles. This cat is like stretching, like, wow, I've been holding back for so long. Now, cats get up and they stretch and then sometimes they indicate that they're like ready to like take off. It almost feels like he is going to be stretching his flirtation muscles. He's been holding back. He hasn't flirted with anybody in a long time. Really thought he was just going to stay single. I feel like he may have really lovely eyes. There could be something really quite beautiful. I mean, about both of them, but cats are very independent. And I wasn't even thinking about that when I grabbed this deck for a singles story. But it makes sense that we would have animals that, are really self-sufficient and independent, considering what we've seen for the characteristics of these individuals. I just love the fact that it doesn't seem like there's going to be any holding back on his part, even though he was the one who was pretty sure he wouldn't find anybody. And he was so content not having anyone in his life, or so he said. And no wonder he's the one that comes across as the liar, because it's like as soon as he sees something that he wants, it's like, wait, what? I didn't know there was somebody like her out there. We have the Fool. She is totally unafraid to, she was the one who was like, oh, if I meet different people, there's a lot of fish in the sea. Maybe I'll go out to a park. Maybe I'll go on a walk with somebody. Maybe I'll go have coffee with somebody. I'm just going to do lighthearted dating. There's tons of great people. Her view on like the dating world is just kind of like, look, it's just meeting other people you can have some fun with. She's not expecting anything serious, but she's very willing. If he asks her out, she'll be like, sure. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I do. Just like when there's people that I'd like to talk to longer or further, sure, we could go do something. Sure, that could be fun. I feel like she's very much aware that there are alligators out there, but I don't think she's foolish. I just think she's outgoing and relaxed. Again, she's not looking for a forever after, but she's open to meeting people while still being totally content being completely single. This feels like these two could start out as terrific friends, but there is an undercurrent of real passion there. So I loved this. I loved all the little details about them too. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Lots of love. Bye.